Hey guys, welcome back to the Greatest Media Podcast. Today we're going to give you some great topics with some great sources and to support our topics. We're the Greatest Media Podcast and the name on the internet. It's me, PK, here for the podcast. Who am I here with?
Oh, Bones.
That indeed. Let's not waste any of you guys' precious time. Let's hop right into our first topic revolving around the ocean. Cruise ships. Now we all know about the cruise ship baddies. Bones, do you know about the cruise ship baddie? You know about the cruise ship baddies?
The one cruise ship I went on, it was a bunch of old people. And I went for my grandma's birthday. And honestly, it was fucking beautiful. So I actually don't really know about the cruise ship baddies. I was too busy in Alaska.
Alaska, like the outdoor boys.
hmm I actually took a selfie with the outdoor boys. Or the
Gross.
dad.
Sound wallahi, bro.
Oh, I'm lying.
Aw. Get my hopes up, man. Fucking
Yeah, I
hate
fucking
you.
hate you.
Interlinked like that, alright. But in my personal experience on the cruise ship, as you guys know, I like to go on cruise ships. I like to crack the freshman, blah blah blah. I would say cruise ships are pretty fun, depending on what you go on, like Carnival, like known for all the wild behavior, if by a certain demographic of people that they had to import laws on and cruise ship rules because of how chaotic they were being. Not that I go more political into that side of things, but I don't go on there. I like to go on the Royal Caribbean. That's a pretty nice one. Disney cruise, bro. Oh my gosh, it's always fun to go on, bro. Especially when you want to take the wife out. I don't have one. But all around cruise ships are pretty fun. I mean, if you have seasickness, I wouldn't recommend going on them. Bones, do you have seasickness at all, or no? You're not a seasickness
No,
guy.
actually, no, I don't. Seasickness is not real. It's an excuse for pussy ass bitches.
Is that really true?
Uh huh.
Damn, never knew that. I thought it was a real thing. So why do people do
Nah,
that?
they're pussies.
Real shit, brother. Real shit. Excuse me, I'm burping. But I think all in all, if you have the money, I would recommend going on a cruise ship again with a few baddies. You know what I mean? And then when you're done with it, make sure to give her like after you're done with everything, make sure to give her your homie's number and name when you leave. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's a real one.
We all do that. Let's not lie. But to move on from the cruise ship that side of things, let's go to the next part, which is the ocean itself. What resides underneath the ocean? I don't really go in the ocean too much because it's scary and I do not rock like that. But I know Bones does have some personal side things, so I'm gonna let him take it away on that one. I know he's had a few experiences with that.
What? Oh, why the ocean's scary?
Yeah, like what's underneath it?
Oh, yeah. So there's actually a lot that you guys don't know about, which is crazy. So back in 1965, I was on an FBI CIA joint operation to go down and infiltrate an underwater casino that was made by the Soviets because this was during the Cold War. And it was such a popular casino with the elite class that I had to go in and I had to steal the files where everything, well, all the information of the casino and how they built it, and everything about it was stored in the room with all the security and whatnot. But the first problem is getting in, because the only way you could get in was either a highly specialized submarine that they used to transport the elite, or they had actually built an underwater tunnel that goes underground under the seabed and comes up into an elevator into the casino. So none of those were options for me because of all the security. And so I had to break in through one of the escape pods. I had to go in from above the casino without being detected, or in this case, from the side. I had to come from the side of the casino without being detected. I had to crawl on the seabed floor for 3 miles straight. I got dropped off by the USS Idaho, and which is a submarine, and they dropped me off through the moon pool, and I crawled along the sea floor, along the coral reefs and whatnot, for 3, maybe 4 miles straight, just slowly crawling because they couldn't catch me on the radar making noise or moving too much. So I crawled along and I got to the casino. And you know what they had? They had dolphins and sharks. They were actually interbred. They were dolphin sharks. And they had dolphin speed, but the bite of a shark. So they had those with vests on, with suicide vests, patrolling around the casino. And if they saw anybody who wasn't supposed to be there, they would just like suicide. They would run at you. And if they couldn't bite you with their teeth, the last resort would just be they would just suicide. The second, if like anything happened, just suicide bomb, and they would just blow up. So I covered myself in fox piss to get the scent away, because I haven't showered since 1934. So I had to cover myself in fox piss to get rid of the smell, so they wouldn't see. And plus, it also made just a cloud of fox piss. So they didn't really think anything was weird of it. Just like, oh, don't go over there; it smells weird. So I sneak in. I go up to the escape pod. I cut a hole through the escape pod, and because it's pressurized inside the escape pod, it doesn't like flood the whole place in. So I cut a hole with my welder. I go into the escape pod, and then I have to weld it back shut, and while also draining the water out. I had to suck the water with a straw and spit it out back into the ocean while I was welding it shut. So I welded it shut. There's not a lot of water in there. I get dressed in my nice Soviet attire that I had specially made by me from the CIA. I put on my special mask that is years ahead of its time, and I enter the casino. And I immediately forget about my mission. I head straight to the slots. Oh my God. When I tell you not a single place in Vegas is like, oh, it was beautiful. It was the best night of my life. Wait, I forgot about my mission. Ding, 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 and ding, 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 and boom, I was in. I was robbing them underneath their nose just because I'm so good at gambling. But then finally I heard this dickhead in my earpiece. Agent 67, you must continue with your mission. So I get off the slots, and you know what I see? Roulette. I put a hand on roulette. I lost all my money. Then I'm like, okay. All right, fine, I'll do my mission. And so I sneak past all the guards using my CIA equipment. I have to use specialized silly string on all the cameras so I can sneak by. I'm using those karate chops and shit to like knock out guards. I finally get in, and you know who's sitting there? Elmo. The most commie fucker you've ever seen, that red piece of shit. Elmo. Ugh, motherfucker. He was working with the commies. So he's sitting in his chair, and he does that, he turns around in his swivel chair, his red velvet swivel chair, he goes, and he does that stupid laugh. And so I pull out a shotgun. I pull out the street sweeper from Modern Warfare, and I just gun him down in his chair. And there's just stuffing everywhere. His eyeballs gone. Everything. And then I finally stop shooting. I empty 24 rounds into his fucking chair, and then once the smoke clears, there's nothing. There's nothing left. The desk is gone, but then I hear running behind me. They know I'm there. The guards heard all the shooting. They know I'm there. I let my temper get the best of me. I gotta lock this shit down. So I grab the hard drive that's on the side. That was in one of his briefcases that was hung up next to the door, next to his coat and his hat. He's a fucking commie. His brown trench coat and his brown hat. And I have to find a way out. There's no way out. But then I look. There's a small hole in the wall because I shot 20 rounds, and it went through him, through the chair, into the wall, and there's a small hole leaking water. So I know this way leads outside. So what I do, I place a breach charge on the wall, and I hide myself inside of Elmo's closet. And once I hear the guards break in, beep, I blow it, and all the guards die because all the water floods in, and we're at the bottom of the ocean, so floods in, they die instantly. By that time, I have my spare scuba suit on, so I open the closet door, I go out, and boom, I'm out, and I crawl along the floor. But you know what? A dolphin. It comes zooming at me, but you know what I do? Just in time, I found a body of one of the guards. I throw it in front of me, and it just explodes because it sees another person. It can't differentiate who's who. So it sees the person, it fucking explodes. Saved my life. The person is gone. It's just a pile of fucking. There's just red mist from the explosion of both of them. There's nothing left. So I go on the seabed. I bury myself in the sand, and then I remember, wait, I have to detonate the building. I have to destroy it. So I look back. I have no way of doing it. All my equipment is ruined. It all got wet when I blew a hole in the wall. What do? And then I remember, there's the power station is not far from the office, the director's office, Elmo's office, where I am. So the casino is partially flooded, but they have bulkhead doors to prevent this from happening, so it doesn't flood away. There's a section of it flooded, and I have to get in. So I get back in. I go back in through the office, and I find the control room with the power room and all that. And I have a way to destroy it, but I can't. So I reach in my pocket, and I have a specially made flute from the CIA, and I go, and I play a tune, and all of the dolphins come to the tune. So you just hear because they're all trying to get in, so they're all just exploding the casino, and they're all blowing up the casino in parts and pieces, and it's like a fucking drone strike. They're all just blowing up sections of the casino, and eventually one finally gets through. It comes the same way I came in. And I see it go straight for me. It's high for me. What do? I jump up from the ground. We're still underwater. It's all flooded. By the time I get there, I open up the door. It's all flooded. I jump up like fucking Neo from the Matrix. It goes past me, right into the wall, and it fucking explodes because they're all wearing suicide vests. It explodes, and that just makes a gigantic explosion because we're in the control room of a fucking underground Soviet. It's nuclear fueled. Just boom, damn near nuclear explosion. It sends me flying. It sends me flying from the bottom of the ocean out of it, and 20 feet into the sky, where I pencil dive back into the water feet first, and then I make contact with the USS Idaho, and they pick me up, and I actually received multiple awards that are I can't talk about because they're all very secret and private. But yeah, but the ocean does also kind of have like octopus and like kind of scary squids and sharks and like those weird ones with the bulbs on them. Those are scary.
But what do you guys know about islands? You know, islands reside all over the ocean. And there's very many people own islands. You know, the rich of the rich, like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast really does love to give away islands. Have you ever been on a Mr. Beast competition?
I have not, but Mr. Beast did sexually assault me back in third grade. We grew up
Now,
in the same
what about the
class.
island that was in the SpongeBob? You know, the little island in SpongeBob. Like, was that island actually real or not?
I think it is actually. I was there once.
You were there once.
Yep. Mr. Beast took me.
Speaking of celebrities that really do match the Mr. Beast conception, all that, we got David Goonigans and Jeffy, aka Palm Beach Penis. Do you know about either of these celebrities?
Um, aren't they the ones who invented kick?
Sorry, I'm not really good on my karate knowledge. What is that?
It's that one. It's that one movie where it's James Bond and the Dunkin' Donuts guy, and they're running, and and then they just all start just just like they all go to the zoo, and they just start throwing their own shit at the monkeys, and then they just die.
Might just throw me out later. I did not know that.
It's a good one.
Niche, niche. I've actually met up with Palm Beach Penis before.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember what happened though. I just know I did. I just
I
remember
think I actually know that
I
guy.
woke up with like a Polaroid photo of my chest. I don't remember. I was shirtless on the beach. I don't know how I got there. And it was just me and him. So like, interesting stuff.
Weird.
But let's finish off the ocean with the Bermuda Triangle. Do you believe it exists?
The Bermuda Triangle. Um, I actually don't think it's a triangle. I think it's more of like a hexadecimal picosquare, which is just a triangle with no right angles and three sides.
And that wraps up another great podcast where we gave you guys some great topics with some very great evidence and sites to support our answers. Me and Bones worked very hard on this podcast, especially. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have anything you want us to talk about next podcast, leave it down in the comments down below. We're always looking at it, most definitely. Bones, you have anything you want us to finally say before we wrap this up in a second?
Bones special topic of the day. The fly trap companies are hiding something big from you. I can't talk about it here because I may be assassinated.